菜根谭
Tending the roots of wisdom.
217心领神会，全神贯注。
217. Understand without explicit instructions. Concentrate wholeheartedly.
菜根谭原文：善读书者，要读到手舞足蹈处，方不落全题；善观物者，要观到心融神洽时，方不泥迹象。
白话文注解：善于读书的人，要读到心领神会，读到妙处时手舞足蹈，这算是得到了书中的真味，没有掉入文字表面的陷阱。善于观察事物的人，要观察到心神融会贯通时，才能不拘泥于表面现象，而看清事物的真相。
217-1. For those skilled in reading. True understanding comes from delving deep into the text, feeling the nuances, and even dancing with joy when encountering moments of brilliance. This signifies grasping the genuine essence of the material, rather than getting caught in surface-level traps of words. Similarly, individuals adept at observing should attain a level of insight where their mind and perceptions become seamlessly integrated, allowing them to transcend superficial appearances and truly comprehend the essence and reality of things. Translated by Bayandefu.
217-2. Those who read a book for pleasure will be led by passages to waving their hands and stamping their feet. Literary contrivances will not entrap them. Those who are good at observing things will reach the point of merging with objects. External forms will not confine them. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 217-3. A person who is good at studying is able to understand the essence of a book to the extent that his hands and feet dance with delight. Only then can he avoid being satisfied by merely getting the literal meanings of the words. A person who is good at observing phenomena will continue his observations until he gets into the innermost substance of the object. Only then can he avoid a judgment based on superficial features. Translated by Paul White.
217-4. A person skilled in reading should read until they comprehend the essence, reaching a point where they dance with joy at the brilliance. This indicates grasping the true flavor of the book and not falling into the traps of surface-level words. For someone adept at observing things, they need to observe until their mind and spirit are harmoniously connected. Only then can they avoid being confined to surface appearances and see the true nature of things. Translated by Wen Lin.
218物成己常，物是所有。
218. Do not flaunt one's strengths. Do not rely solely on one's possessions.
菜根谭原文：天贤一人，以会众人之愚，而是凡成所长，以行人之所短；天赋一人，以济众人之困，而是反邪所有，以凌人之贫。真天之路民在。
白话文注解：上天让一个人聪慧明理，为的是让他能够教诲世人克服愚钝。可是世上一些人，反而以自己的天分来取笑天资不如自己的人。上天让一个人拥有财富，目的是派他来救助贫苦大众。可是世上一些拥有财富的人，却仗势自己的财富来欺凌穷人，这种人真是违背天意的罪人。
218-1. The divine endows certain individuals with wisdom and understanding, so they can educate others to overcome ignorance. However, there are those who use their talents to mock those who are less gifted. Similarly, when someone is blessed with wealth, it is intended that they assist the less fortunate. Unfortunately, some wealthy individuals misuse their riches to exploit the poor. Such actions go against the will of the heavens and are deemed sinful. Translated by Bayandefu.
218-2. Heaven endows some with wisdom so that they can enlighten the many, yet there are those who show off their talents in order to show up deficiencies in others. Heaven endows some with wealth so that they can relieve the less fortunate many, yet there are those who use their wealth to debase others in poverty. Such are the transgressors against heaven. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff.
218-3. Heaven makes a man wise so that he can teach and enlighten the masses of ignorant folk.
But there are men who go around displaying their talent and learning simply to show how deficient the others are in these qualities. Heaven makes a man rich so that he can help to relieve the poverty of the masses of common people. But there are men who use their wealth to bully the poor. Does heaven really intend to punish the masses of the people in this way? Translated by Paul White.
218-4. The heavens endow an individual with intelligence and wisdom, so that they can enlighten others to overcome ignorance. However, in the world, some people mock those who are less gifted despite their own intellectual abilities. Similarly, when someone is bestowed with wealth, the purpose is to enable them to assist the impoverished masses. Unfortunately, some wealthy individuals use their riches to bully the poor. Such individuals are truly sinful, going against the divine intent. Translated by Wen Lin.
219. 下愚可教，中才难语。
219. The foolish can be taught, but it is difficult to instruct those with mediocre talent.
菜根谭原文：智人何思何虑，愚人不识不知，可与论学，亦可与建功。为中才之人，多一番思虑知识，便多一番意夺猜疑，事事难与下手。
白话文注解：智慧道德都超越凡人的人，他们心胸开朗，对任何事物都从容不迫；天赋愚鲁的人，想得少，知道的不多，头脑单纯，不存偏见。这两种人既可以和他们讨论学问，也可以和他们共建功业。唯独那些天赋中等的人，智慧虽然不高，却什么都懂一点。这种人遇事考虑最多，猜疑心也极重，最自以为是，因此事事难以合作。
219-1. People of exceptional wisdom and virtue transcend the ordinary, displaying an open-minded and carefree demeanor towards all matters. Conversely, those endowed with limited intelligence often exhibit fewer thoughts and less knowledge, along with a lack of formed opinions. These two groups can successfully collaborate in studies and projects. However, individuals of intermediate abilities possess only surface-level knowledge, muddled perspectives, and an inclination towards suspicion. Working alongside them presents a considerable challenge. Translated by Bayan Defu.
219-2. The accomplished person thinks about this and worries about that. The dull person does not distinguish things or know anything. These two can work together in study or on projects. People of mediocre talent, however, have extraneous knowledge, addled opinions, and doubts. It is difficult to do anything with them. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 219-3. People of supreme virtue and wisdom have nothing to worry about. People who are innately stupid are constantly muddled in their minds, unable either to perceive or understand. You can study and work together with these two types of people. People who are innately gifted with only mediocre intellects have a certain degree of perception and understanding. Such people are subjective in their appraisals and suspicions, and it is difficult to collaborate with them. Translated by Paul White.
219-4. Individuals who surpass ordinary people in wisdom and morality have a broad-minded demeanor, facing everything with ease. Those with limited intelligence have fewer thoughts and knowledge, maintaining simplicity in their minds without harboring biases. Both types of individuals are suitable for discussing academic subjects or collaborating on projects. However, individuals with moderate intelligence, possessing a bit of knowledge about everything, tend to overthink, are suspicious, and often consider themselves superior. Therefore, cooperation with them can be challenging in various matters. Translated by Wen Lin.
220. 守口须密，防疫要严。
220. Guard your words with discretion, and be cautious in expressing your thoughts.
菜根谭原文：口乃心之门，守口不密，泄尽真机；意乃心之足，防疫不严，走进邪溪。
白话文注解：口是心灵的门户，对其把控不严，内中机密就会全部泄露；意志是心的双脚，对其防范不严，走的就都是邪路。
220-1. The mouth is the gateway to the mind. Without proper control, all inner secrets may be revealed. Willpower serves as the feet of the heart. If not guarded closely, it may lead down the wrong path. Translated by Bayandefu.
220-2. The mouth is the portal of the mind. If not carefully guarded, it leaks true intents and motives. Feelings are the feet of the mind. If not carefully watched, they will take you onto all kinds of wayward paths. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 220-3. The mouth is the doorway of the heart. If it is not closely guarded, your true motives and intentions will spill out. Thoughts are the feet of the heart. If the thoughts are not well controlled, you may find yourself traveling the road to damnation. Translated by Paul White.
220-4. The mouth is the gateway to the soul. If not guarded closely, all internal secrets will be exposed. Willpower is the mind's feet. If not guarded carefully, it will tread down the wrong paths. Translated by Wen Lin.
221. 责人一宽，则己一克。
221. In holding others accountable, be lenient. In holding oneself accountable, be strict.
菜根谭原文：责人者，原无过于有过之中，则情平；责己者，求有过于无过之内，则得进。
白话文注解：对待别人要宽厚，当别人犯错时，要在他人的错处看到他人也有对的地方而原谅他，这样才会心平气和。要求自己应严格，即便没有犯错，也要时时查找自己的不足之处，这样才能使自己的品德进步。
221-1. In dealing with others, one should be magnanimous. When someone makes a mistake, try to see their positive qualities as well and forgive them, so as to maintain a calm and composed demeanor. When it comes to oneself, hold a rigorous standard. Even if no mistakes are made, continuously examine your own shortcomings. This approach is crucial for the improvement of one's character. Translated by Bayandefu.
221-2. In reprimanding others, find innocence amid faults, and your outlook will be smoothed over. In blaming yourself, find faults within innocence, and your virtue will be enhanced. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 221-3. If a person who takes another to task can find something blameless in the other's transgression, he will be a fair-minded man. If a person can search for something blameworthy in the midst of his innocent deeds, one will steadily improve one's conduct as a result. Translated by Paul White.
221-4. When dealing with others, one should be generous. When others make mistakes, one should see their merits as well and forgive them, maintaining a calm and peaceful demeanor. When it comes to oneself, strictness is required. Even if one has not made mistakes, it is necessary to regularly examine one's shortcomings to make moral progress. Translated by Wen Lin.
222. 幼时定基，少时勤学。
222. Establish a solid foundation in youth, and diligently pursue learning in adolescence.
菜根谭原文：子弟者，大人之胚胎；秀才者，士夫之胚胎。此时若火力不到，陶铸不纯，他日涉世历朝，终难成个令器。
白话文注解：小孩是大人的前身，学者是官吏的前身。假如在培育阶段磨练不够，陶冶教养不好，那将来踏入社会做事时，就很难成为一个有用的人才。
222-1. Children are the predecessors of adults. Scholars are the predecessors of officials. If during the nurturing phase they lack sufficient cultivation and proper education, it will be difficult for them to become valuable individuals when they step into society and engage in various pursuits. Translated by Bayandefu.
222-2. The child is an embryo of an adult, the budding scholar is an embryo of a high official. If at such times, the life force is inadequate or the upbringing is impure, ultimately it will be difficult to get established and accomplish things in life. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 222-3, a child is an adult of tomorrow. A successful candidate at the imperial examination of the lowest level can be a high official of tomorrow. If proper education is not given at the early stage, neither the man in society nor the official at court will be of much use to the country. Translated by Paul White.
222-4. Children are the predecessors of adults. Scholars are the predecessors of officials. If during the nurturing stage they are not adequately cultivated and educated, it will be difficult for them to become useful talents when they enter society. Translated by Wen Lin.
223. 不忧患难，不畏权豪。
223. Do not fear difficulties and hardships, and do not dread the powerful and influential.
菜根谭原文：君子处患难而不忧，当厌尤而惕虑，遇权好而不惧，对穷独而惊心。
白话文注解：君子处身灾难并不发愁，但是面对安乐悠游时，却能保持警惕，有所顾虑。君子遇到豪强权贵并不畏惧，但是看到孤苦无依的弱者，则十分痛惜。
223-1. A noble person does not worry when facing hardships, but remains vigilant and cautious when enjoying comfort and leisure. A noble person does not fear the powerful and influential, but feels deep compassion for the helpless and vulnerable. Translated by Bayan Defu.
223-2, noble persons are not worried when in crisis, but they are on alert when seated at a banquet. They are not uneasy when encountering the rich and powerful, but they are faint of heart on facing the distressed and destitute. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 223-3, when a virtuous man finds himself in dire straits he is not worried, it is feast and leisure that worry him and make him vigilant. When he encounters with the rich and powerful he is undaunted, but when he meets old folks living in solitude, he never fails to show his sympathy. Translated by Paul White.
223-4. A noble person does not worry in the face of adversity, but remains vigilant and cautious in times of ease and leisure. A noble person is not afraid when encountering the powerful and influential, but feels deep sympathy when witnessing the plight of the lonely and vulnerable. Translated by Wen Lin.
224. 浓腰淡酒，大器晚成。
224. Intense fragrance is not as enduring as a mild fragrance over time. Great achievements late in life are superior to early success.
菜根谭原文：桃李虽艳，何如松苍柏翠之坚贞？梨杏虽甘，何如橙黄橘绿之新烈？谢乎！浓腰不及淡酒，早秀不如晚成也。
白话文注解：桃李的花朵虽然鲜艳，但怎么比得上苍松翠柏的坚韧不屈？梨杏果实虽然甘甜，但怎么能比得上黄橙绿橘蕴含的芬芳？确实如此，浓烈的不如清淡的持久，少年得志还不如大器晚成。
224-1. Peach and plum blossoms may boast a rich and delicate brilliance, yet they pale in comparison to the steadfastness of evergreens like pine and cypress, which endure through all seasons. While pear and apricot trees yield succulent and sweet fruits, they still fall short of the delicate aroma found in oranges and tangerines. Ephemeral beauty quickly fades, while simplicity endures. Early bloomers are eclipsed by those that mature later. How profound and timeless this insight is. Translated by Bayan Defu.
224-2, peaches and plums may be lustrous, but how can they compare with the craggy integrity of the pine and cypress? Pears and apricots may be sweet, but how can they rival the fragrance of oranges and tangerines? In truth, the moment of ripeness does not compare with flavorless longevity, and the early budding of talent is inferior to later fruition. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 224-3. Peach and plum blossoms have a deep and fine luster, but how can they compare to the integrity of evergreens like the pine and cypress, which flourish all the year round? Pear and apricot trees bear lush, sweet fruit, but how can they compare to the delicate fragrance of the orange or tangerine? What is gorgeous quickly fades. What is plain lasts long. Flowers that bloom early are inferior to those that come to fruition late. How profound this truth is. Translated by Paul White.
224-4. The blossoms of peaches and plums may be vibrant, but how can they compare to the unyielding spirit of the towering pine and cypress trees? The fruits of pears and apricots may be sweet, but can they match the fragrance contained in the hues of yellow, orange, green, and red? Indeed, the intense is not as enduring as the subtle, and achieving success in youth is not as commendable as maturing into greatness later in life. Translated by Wen Lin.